send it to me. I'll tell you if you can write. I do it for a living, I know. So she goes and writes a book, sends it in to him. He sends it to an agent in New York, and they publish it. Her next book was called Romancing the Stone. The book after that, Jewel of the Nile. Both made into movies with Michael Douglas and Catherine Turner. So what's the deal here? 14, 15 years of her talent wasted because she bought someone else's evaluation of her. My friend Terry Cole Whitaker says she wrote a book called What You Think of Me Is None of My Business. You know? Do not let other people's evaluations of you control you, okay? It's just an E. Your response is, thank you very much. You keep pursuing your passionate dream, okay? Now, another principle is you've got to drop out of the Ain't It Awful Club. What does that mean? It means you have to surround yourself with positive people. We saw when Marianne's arm went down up here when you all did negative thoughts about her. And how many of you, think about this, where do you spend your time? Is it with positive people or is it with negative people? You have to be very careful about where you put yourself. Jim Rohn said, again, you're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Who do you spend the most time with? They're a mirror back to you at what level your life is actualizing at. If your friends are victims and their lives aren't working and their marriages don't work and they're not making money, that's a reflection back. If you're working out with people and hanging out with people that are at a higher level, then that's a reflection back. And what I teach people is always try to get with the people that are the next level up. You're making $50,000 a year, you want to make $100,000, find some people making $100,000 and spend some time with them, however you have to do that. You know, if you want to be more spiritual, go to some spiritual retreats where spiritual people hang out. Get in their space, learn what they do, how they think, etc. We had a story in the second helping of Chicken Soup for the Soul. Carl Coleman's driving to work when his car collides with another woman's car, and they get out, and she's crying, and he's like relieved. This is a minor fender bender. Why are you crying? She said, you don't understand. This is a brand-new car, 3 days from the showroom. How am I going to explain this to my husband? He said, well, I'm really sorry about that, but we need to get your registration, your driver's license, your insurance record, so we can, you know, exchange that data so we can file our accident reports. So she goes into the glove compartment of her car, opens up the manila envelope, and everything's in. And on top of that, there's a message written in handwriting by her husband, and it said, in case of accident, remember, honey, it's you I love, not the car. See, the women all go, oh. The men are thinking, yeah, right, I don't know about that. But why do we all go, oh? We all go, oh, because that's what we want in life. We want someone to love us more than anything else, especially things, vases that have been in the family for 3 generations, the white carpet, your special sweater, whatever. And when we know that we're loved unconditionally, then you feel safe. And when you feel safe, you get creative. And when you get creative, you come up with ideas that can quantum leap your success. So that's why it's so important. Number 2, success principle, that's really the core principle here, is decide what you want. You can't get from here to there unless you know where here is and there is, right? If you have a GPS system in your car, all you have to do is type in the address. It knows where you are from the satellites in the sky, and it plots a course. Your brain works the same way. The problem is, according to the research, less than 10% of Americans have written measurable goals for the year. In some cases, I've been into companies where less than 3% of the people did. Less than 10% of high school students are ever taught how to set a measurable goal. This is a failure in our education system. You know anyone that got divorced because they didn't know the 7 exports of Brazil or the 5 causes of the Civil War? No. But they didn't know the communication skills. They didn't know how to set goals for their relationship. So many things we're not learning in our education that we now need to learn in these kind of courses. General Wesley Clark, who I interviewed, said, it doesn't take any more effort to dream a big dream than it takes to dream a small dream. So if you're going to decide what you want, go for what you want, not what you think is possible. Most people hone down their dream because they can't see how they can do it. And I'm saying to you, dream as big as you want. In fact, big dreams are exciting. Big dreams attract big people. If Martin Luther King said, I'm going over to the supermarket in Mississippi, I don't think a whole lot of people would have gone down there with him. But when he said, I want to end racism in America, that was a big dream and it inspired a lot of people to want to play. At great personal sacrifice to themselves because it was big enough and worth doing. Walt Disney said, if you can dream it, you can do it. Which means that you're never given a dream that comes out of your own desire place that isn't something you have the capacity to fulfill. You may have to learn some new skills. You may have to partner up with some people. You may need to learn some, how to access some new resources along the way. But all of that is possible if you'll simply dream the big dream. Because the dream doesn't come unless the capacity to achieve it comes with it. Does that make sense? Okay. So trust your dreams. Now, there's 7 dream categories or vision categories that you need to focus on to create a balanced and fulfilling life. Success means having all of this stuff, and I want to walk you through these. Number 1 is financial. What are your goals for your money? How much money do you want to make? How much net worth do you want to achieve? How much money do you want to have when you retire? If you own a business, you have cash flow goals, you have money in reserve goals, you have profit goals, etc. And so we need to have goals clearly set in that arena. Number 2, business and career. What's my ideal vision for my business or my career or my job? You know, I was a high school teacher, and at a certain point I realized I wanted to teach teachers because I just thought I could impact more people. Then I became a teacher trainer. I trained people how to train teachers. And now I'm teaching, you know, on television around the world. So it kept growing. The goal changed, but it was always like, you know, what is it that I want to be doing with my life in relation to my business and career? Number 3, fun time and recreation goals. One year our fun time goals, my wife and I, was learn salsa dancing. This past 2 years I've been learning to play the piano. My goal is to play Jesu Joy of Man's Desiring as well as Bach could have played it when he wrote it. I'm not there yet, but I'm working on it. And so, you know, one year was to go to the Eiffel Tower. We took our kids and we walked up as far as they let you walk, which is about 2/3 of the way up there. Number 4, health and fitness goals. These are things like weight you want to achieve, cholesterol levels. Maybe you want to run a 10K or a marathon. There's just so many possibilities in that arena. Maybe you want to, you know, have your waist come in by a couple inches. You want to grow some hair back. I mean, there's just a number of things you can decide about in that arena of health and fitness. Number 5, relationships. What would your ideal relationships look like? One year I decided I didn't have enough male friends. So I created this thing called Boys Day Out. I'd read this article about Kenny Rogers, the singer, and he brought all these athletes down to his ranch in Virginia, and they would spend a week playing all these different games, tennis and soccer and basketball, and I thought, well, I can't do that, but a day a month would be cool. So I asked a bunch of guys that had control of their schedule, lawyers and psychiatrists and people like that, and we created this day, and we would do guy things. We'd pitch pennies, throw baseball cards, play soccer, go to the racetrack, do ice hockey, broom ball. I mean, you name it, we attempted to do it. And it was really a lot of fun. And all of a sudden, I had the guy energy that I needed in my life. Instead of just complaining about not having it, I said, what's my goal? I want this many men friends, and I set out to create it. Number 6 is personal. And this is just things you want to do because you want to do them. You want to write a letter and get it published in the newspaper. You always wanted to act in a play, just, you know, because you thought it'd be cool, or record a song. Or this could be where your personal growth goals, your spiritual growth goals are. You know, you want to reach enlightenment before you die, learn to meditate, you know, get to know a closer walk with God. Whatever it is for you, that's that arena. And finally, contribution and legacy. What is it that you want to leave to the world? What's your vision of your contribution that you leave behind? You know, we've planted over 1 million trees through our work we do. We've given over $3.5 million in the last couple of years to all kinds of charities, limbs for kids that have lost them, child abuse prevention, so forth and so on. So we picked 5 or 6 areas. We said we want to make a difference there. Habitat for Humanity, we built some houses and so forth. So what is it you want to do? Pick one thing in your vision and go for it. Now, if you had success in all these arenas of your life would be balanced. Your life would be fulfilling. And here's the neat thing. Nobody can tell you what you should want in any of those areas. It's what you want, not what your mother, your wife, your pastor or anyone else says you ought to have, but what do you really want to achieve in your vision? And I usually ask people to look 5, 6 years out about that. You can look farther if you want. And then to write down, you know, all the details, like you're putting in a purchase order to God, okay? All right. Create a breakthrough goal. This is a thing you want to do where you create a goal that's going to quantum leap your career. So something that if you like wrote a best-selling book, that would be a quantum leap goal. Had your own radio show, that would be a quantum leap goal. Opened up China as a market, that would be a quantum leap goal. And it's a goal that would not be like a 5-yard play, but like a 50-yard pass play on the first down. And so what you're going to do is set that goal. Here's some examples of past clients of mine. Create a $10 million revenue stream through internet sales. Create my own 30-minute talk show. Get our products sold on QVC. Secure a $10 million line of credit for their company. Teach a weekly holistic health class for the public. And become a wellness coach for a major corporation instead of continuing being a doctor on call all day. And what you do is with your breakthrough goal, once you've decided what that is, you do something we call the rule of 5. Write your goal on your business card and carry it like I carry mine in my wallet at all times. And then once you've done that, every day you're going to do, this for this year, it says, I'm joyfully celebrating 15,000 people having completed the Canfield Success Principles coaching programs. What that allows me to do is have you all get value without me having to leave my house, see? And that's a breakthrough for me, so I could travel less, be home more, etc. And with the breakthrough goal, we say the rule of 5. That means every day you do 5 specific concrete actions to move that goal forward. You're not going to do that in all 7 arenas of your life. It's just